Hi, thank you so much for having me. Again, I'm Erin Rooney. I'm the director of San Luis Public Library, and so this is our 6-month review for the first part of FY25. So that's through July through December. And again, our mission is that we bring people, information, and ideas together to enrich lives and build community. And sure, although we've been doing that, here's our 6-month performance metrics. So this is again through July 2024 to December 2024, based off the same time period from the previous fiscal year. So that would have been between July and December of 2023. We've had a 3% increase in our overall visitors walking through our doors. We've had a total of 4% increase for all of our checkouts for anything that is available to check out in the library, from books, CDs, our Wi-Fi hotspots, laptops, all that. We still do provide free COVID test kits for anybody who's needed them. We have had a 50% increase since it unfortunately is still going around, and it's been very popular. People are still using it. We have also had a 28% increase in our database usage, which is fantastic. This is anything from, we have databases for kids' homework help, that they can get help with that. For veteran resources, we have it for one called Transparent Language. You could come in and learn how to use different languages, as well as things like our genealogy databases, so newspaper.com, Ancestry, all of that.
When you mentioned about veterans resources, what kind of resources are those?
So it's actually similar in how our homework help database is. You can actually go on, it's called Vet Now. You go to our website, click on the database, and it can connect you and do Zoom work with somebody who can walk you through the resources for veterans, as well as just resource lists, and be able to access them directly from the database as well. We've also seen a 3% increase in the amount of attendees for programming, which is fantastic. And like I mentioned the last time I was here, our notary service is incredibly popular. We're one of the very few places you can get notary services for free here at Front Royal, and people know about it, and they're using it. So it's, again, 47% increase. We actually had to add more notaries to staff, which has been a fantastic help. But we always try to have someone, when we're open, that's available for the resource. We've also seen a 7% increase in the amount of reference questions. So anybody coming in asking for help finding a book, help accessing resources, finding different resources, anything like that, we've seen an uptick in. We've also seen a 26% increase in our volunteer hours, which is fantastic, because this then frees up staff to be able to do even more programming and other services for the public. And then we've also had a 4% increase in the amount of people using our meeting rooms as well.
So when you show the number of patrons, I know that you have those sensors that when you come in through the door, does that count the number of people coming in and going out?
Only coming in. Yeah, that's about as accurate as you can get with any kind of door count than you can get for that. So yeah, it's the one-way directional coming into the building, and it will count. Wait, well, somebody leaves, yeah, we will not capture that. So going on to general updates and services, we had several opportunities to do some great outreach work. I was able to work with the Chamber of Commerce to help with their annual teacher reception, which was at the end of July. Worked with Cheryl Polis on that, which is fantastic. We were able to do our National Night Out table that we do every year. We had about 388 people we were able to interact with, and we had great giveaways for kids that were Sadie-themed books. Our youth service at Circulation Department were able to participate in the Community Fun Day at Warren County Useful. Again, 318 and so interactions as well, and the Rusty Jeffries Fall Festival at the elementary school, which was first time we've ever done that. It was a real treat. We just completed our FY24 Bibliostat survey. This is a survey that we filled out for the Library of Virginia that allows us to be eligible for state aid. This covers anything from, again, our performance metrics to also all of our finances. That's we give it to them by the end of the year, and then all of that data going back years, as well as other libraries, is available to the public. They still have to go through the FY24 data, so that probably won't be available most likely till around the summers as well. We were gratefully able to receive funding for our winter reading program that is currently ongoing. It usually happens during January and February, and that was from the Northern Shenandoah Valley Community Foundation. And then with help from Fossil, shout out to them, thank you guys so much. That's our Friends of Santa's Library organization. They helped us attend the Virginia Library Association's annual conference for their award ceremony, where it's Virginia Library of the Year for 2024, as well as Trustee of the Year and Friends Group of the Year. So other things that have been going on, every year we're a drop-off location for Campaign for Hunger that's coordinated by the radio station. We love being able to do it every year. We're able to take several boxes of donations over to them. We continue to act as a cooling and heating center for Warren County, which with the extremely cold weather this winter, as well as during this past summer, has been a great help, and we have a lot of people coming in specifically for that reason.
How does that work?
It's just we're a designated area, so if there's people in the community, we're listed as a resource that they know that especially during our open hours, if they have nowhere else to go in order just to get out of the heat or the cold, they never come directly to our building and are free to come in, use our services, and just get warm or pull up. As part of our 5-year technology replacement schedule, and this kind of goes into the studio, which I'll talk about later, we were able to replace we had old PC computers in there that were outdated. We decided instead of getting PC computers or desktop computers to get replacements for laptops using the Mellon grant, and we were able to completely wipe factory reset the old ones, and they were given to the Epilogue bookstore to resale so that the proceeds go back to the library. Anytime we end up replacing anything for technology, we try to make sure it either gets rehomed somewhere else where it can be used or sold for the proceeds go way back to help fund other programs and services. We received a very generous donation to renovate the staff break room, which we were able to do. It had it got a much needed fresh coat of paint, new flooring and furniture, which was very helpful for staff. And then also through donations, we were able to complete partial new carpeting in the adult area of the library. That carpeting has been in there since we moved in, and it definitely looked like it, and it looks much better right now. Some facility repairs. As you know, we were having some issues with the roof leaking. We were able to get some patches done, so we're keeping an eye on it. So far, so good, and haven't had any issues as of now. We were also got to pub of the town. We were able to get some of the light bulbs in the parking lots fixed, so it's no longer blackout. We were up and running as well as it was before. So, and then we also received, are starting to receive some quotes for next season's lawn maintenance. Going on to programming. I think the last time I was here, some of these are kind of a recap because it was going on at the same time. Our summer reading program went really well. We had 198 adults who participated, as well as 689 youth. We had 222,679 books that were read by youth specifically, and they just changed it up. So instead of books read, we went to minutes read for adults, because sometimes adults like to read huge tomes, and that's not fair if you're reading small books. So 352,719 minutes read overall during the months of June and July. As part of the summer read program, we had several programs specific to it for kids. One was a reptile show for them. We had over 205 attendees. It's an extremely popular program. Kids are able to learn anything they want to about reptiles, as well as get to hold some of it as well. We've also started doing this called Tiny Art Show. This was our third annual. It's increasingly becoming more popular. This is what we call a ASAP program. So you can actually come into the library whenever you want during that time, pick up a kit, take it home, do the program yourself, and then if you bring it back, we end up doing a art show where we have the new books coming in and showcase it in the rest of July. We had 286 kits that were taken home, and we had 109 that actually submitted for the art show. Some additional ones for July and August, we had a Teens Connect program where they can do a clothing swap before school started. which was well received, as well as shout out to our guest speaker for the Genealogy Club for August. That was Colleen Schneider. She had a new book coming out called Insurging Giants, which is a fantastic book that we do have available for checkout at the library. And of course, our big September program was SammyCon. This year's theme was Libraries Open a World of Magic. Our door count hit about 1,438 people coming through the door. We had some awesome guest speakers. One was coming back from last year, was Ben Happy. He also did a program during the event, as well as John Gallagher, who's another kids graphic novel author and artist, as well as a Emmy-nominated animator for The Simpsons, Casey Johnson, and her husband, Drew Johnson, who is a Hugo Award nominee or finalist, as well as a comic illustrator. Some of the activities we had going on was, of course, presentation from the authors, escape rooms, Senator Hunt, vendor hall working demo, which was just people go out and pretend to bike for fun.
What is it? What is the LARP again?
So it's live action role play. So usually they use like foam swords, and it's like fake fantasy fighting. It's a extremely popular. They had a lot of groups in Winchester and in surrounding areas.
Well, if my 9-year-old grandson would probably love it because he does that with me.
He definitely would. Some additional ones for September and October. We partnered with Mark to do a multi-sensory program for our special needs community, as well as they had a theater group that did a awesome performance for Charlie Brown's The Red Pumpkin, which was we had about 52 attendees for that. We also got sponsored by the Anti-Litter Council to do our story walk at Easton Park as a recycling cleanup theme. So it was a messy book, which we had about 40 attendees where kids could do a special story time and to do crafts and different activities, things like that. 2 additional programs. We had Dr. Roberto Ayala from the Shenandoah University's McCormick Civil War Institute. We'd had to come back before. His programs are amazing, and he does, and it's all about the Civil War from these areas. As well as a very popular ghost hunting program from our local ghost hunting group called Moss. So update about the studio. So this is all done through the Mellon Grant. We finished up the remodeling of the old computer lab. All the equipment was purchased. We hired our Makerspace Memory Lab coordinator, who was doing a fantastic job. We had our ribbon cutting on October 7th. About 50 attendees, was great. Supervisor Colors, thank you so much for attending. And sit stacks ribbon cutting. We've had over 60 one-on-one appointments. So anybody who wants to come in to learn how to use any of the equipment, memory lab, 3D printer, any of that, can come in and make an appointment with staff. We'll teach them how to use it, and they can do work by their self-done project. We also started doing walk-in hours. It's a specific time. You don't have to make an appointment, but if you come in during that time, anything that you just want to look at or just want to go ahead and sit down how to use, you can go ahead and do it then. We've had about 25. Some of the most popular machines we've seen so far, of course, the Memory Lab has been very popular, specifically for 8mm film. We had a couple people share some of their stories. We had a Vietnam vet who had film that they had not seen since they were over there, but they had filmed at the time that they were able to digitize and look at. As well as a couple came in that had film that their mother had after they had gotten back from Europe when she was a kid. She was at kids camp after World War II. Never stupid footage, and were able to digitize and preserve that. Some of the makerspace equipment that's been popular is our sublimation printer, which allows you to print off images and then heat press them onto objects like shirts, sea cowls, as well as we have one for tumblers, mugs, things like that. And then, of course, we have our Glowforge, which we're trying to slowly do more and more of, which allows you to either cut wood or engrave things on lead slate. So the programs we've done, of course, is our genealogy club. We've done sewing, crochet, embroidery, card making, and many more to come, as well as we've had a training you're able to do with the Library of Congress on recording veterans' oral histories. And this was open to public, as well as we had some staff over from Yale Regional Library, and we were able to show them what we've done with the studio so far. All right, going on to November and December, we of course had our annual Holiday Ready contest, which was a great hit. We had about 250 entries and about 300 attendees for a reception. We also had a partnership with Health of Families of the Northern Shenandoah Valley for expected new families, which was great, hoping to do more of those. As well as we had our 2 public Q&A forums, so people come and learn information about how the library works, had a chance to meet trustees, and thank you all for those who were able to attend. We, of course, had also had our holiday open house, which we're trying to make bigger and better every year. Patrons were able to come in, families could do KO holiday photos. We had the Library singers who would do caroling, as well as adult and kids crafts. Lowe's was actually nice enough to sponsor kids craft. It came in with kits for everybody. And then, of course, we also had our Santa Claus holiday story time. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Shelley Leisure, that's our treasurer.
Hi, and this should take about 2 minutes to go via finances. Is there?
Oops.
Steal it. Okay. So, real quick for finances, we had our audit completed in September by independent auditors. Excuse me, YHD, the CPAs and consultants. You can find all of our audited financial statements can be found on San Angeles Public Library website. Just go to About, hit the financial information, and we had all of our audited financial statements back to 2007. So within 3 clicks, you can get to all of our audited financial statements. And again, a clean audit, basically, in our opinion, will be accompanied by financial statements, present fairly in all material respects of financial position of San Angeles Library. So what I'm going to go over is just basically where we stand on our operating income and expenses for this year. So our income through July through December, so far we're at a total of $717,455 for income. You'll see the Warren County's funding is exactly half of what the MOA stated, which is $1,024,000. We've received $512,000 of that. From the state aid, we received $124,283. And Samuel's library funding has been $81,173. Okay.
So you've got the miscellaneous income. Is that from
Rentals, copiers, various. It's a miscellaneous income. So it comes from copiers, interest, meeting room income, just various location. Donation income. We received some money for $5,000 for legal expense. We had some money come in for helping with the building maintenance once the public found out that maintenance had been pulled. We got some generous donations knowing that we needed some maintenance work done. So we did some donations came in. So the donation income basically represents donations that came in that were earmarked specific spend for this fiscal year. Okay? Or for the library year,
What are the library funds?
The library funds are a 3% distribution that we take from our reserve account interest. Okay, so that's something that we budget for Steve. Any other questions on the income? Okay. So on the expense side, what we want to make clear, and this is something that had come up, I believe, in meetings that we had, is exactly where the taxpayer dollars are going. And so what we've done is say, okay, let's break out exactly where we're spending the taxpayer dollars. So you'll see on the income side that $512,000, up 92% of the money of that $512,000 is going for, and I always say that, we have a lot of books, we had computers, but our most valuable asset are our people. And anybody who comes to the library will tell you that we have incredible staff. So 92% of the money that we get from the county and what we get from our people and tax money is going to the great people that work for the library. So that's 92% of where the county money goes. And you'll see that in salaries, and you'll see that in taxes and benefits. Now, we do have some state funding that also goes to salaries, but the majority of the money we get from the county goes to pay our the people that was working for us, working for SKL. A good chunk of money goes to utilities, so keep the lights on. So we spend money there as well. Anything else on the expense? So again, the green, we're more highlighting where the county funding goes. Any questions on that? Okay. Yep. Good. And I believe you all have a copy of the audited 2024 financials. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Reba.